Welcome to Virtual Coffee with Dawn Rickabaugh, the Note Queen, where we talk about owner financing and notes. Financial solutions, one mom and pop to another.
If you know something about the collateral, I guess, because all the notes are secured by, But anyway, just give us the nutshell.
The collateral for the first note, I'll give you just the first note is the after repaired value that he says. So this house is a fix and flip house. The present value is probably in the neighborhood of $45,000 to $50,000, and he claims the ARV is about $190,000.
Well, oh my God! So how much rehab does that need? Like 80 grand?
Well, that I have not gotten yet. I'm going to assume it's something in that neighborhood. Yeah.
Okay, so
I only have a little bit of information.
Okay, so my first question is, I want to know how and why the note was originated. Like, it's a different kind of feeling, and I put it in a different category when it was like, hey, I grew up in this house, or this has been a rental for 20 years, and now I'm just, but versus someone who, let's say, gets a HUD home for super cheap, and they're just in the business of using owner financing to flip out of stuff. A rehab flipper type note is way different to me than, does that make sense? Than someone who, hey, they've owned it for a long time. That's a different category of owner carry note to me. So do you know how and why?
Well, we're in that second category then, because this gentleman, from what I've gleaned from the tax records, purchased the house at sheriff's sale for $48,000.
Okay, so
then proceeded to sell it for $49,000 on terms.
What the heck? Why in the heck would he buy something for 48? And was this a first position? For sure, it wasn't a.
This would be
a surprise. Oops,
from
I'm
what
in
I know,
second
it's a first position, but he had it on the market for 79, and then 69, and then 59.
Oh, okay. So
and I think he was trying to unload.
I see. So he made a little error in judgment there on what it would, what he could wholesale it for, probably.
Yeah, I believe so.
All right,
but he has a note at 49. It's got 3 payments on it so far.
Now wait.
And 18 payments remain. So it's a very short-term note.
So is it okay? So the loan amount is $49,000.
The loan amount, I guess he took about $4,000 down, give or take, and the loan amount originally was $44,600. The current unpaid balance is about $38,600.
Okay. So he sold it for $49,000 and he only took $5,000 down. So what is what do we got here with percentage of down payment? I'm just using this as an instructional tool.
No, I appreciate that. I don't know, what is that number? I don't have my calculator right in front of me.
It's pretty it's almost like just 10% down, right? So this is the standard in the industry in owner carry paper is usually 10%. More is always better. More hard equity that someone has into the property is just stronger, unless those few instances where you're on purpose taking low down payment to minimize capital gain or do something else creative with your tax profile, how much taxes you're paying or whatever. So, but in general, 10% is good, but is this guy going to live in the property? That's for owner occupant. Is this guy going to live in the property, or is he a rehab flipper?
Well, the person that purchased this home from the gentleman that gave the note to me is a flipper, I believe, because he's looking to put the property on the market at a certain point down the line and sell it.
Okay, so then that kind of borrower gets put in a different category. This is just traditional fundamentals of the note business over decades and decades. Is the non-owner occupied down payment needs to usually be double or a lot more than you would accept from an owner occupied person, right? Because of in your second buying game that emotional equity is key, right? Emotional equity. So usually an owner occupant where their kids are going to go to school and they got neighbors they care about and church members, they're going to really think a lot harder about defaulting than some investor who goes, things are getting hard. I only put down $4,000 or $5,000. I can walk away from this. So usually non-owner occupants have to pay more that doesn't mean there are not other valuable ways to put deals together. But I can see that the guy that sold this property and who is holding this note got himself in a pickle. So he's just sort of salvaging the situation. So blah, blah. But this is great. This is awesome thing. So 40, I'm just putting this in my calculator. If you guys don't have a financial calculator, this only costs $5.99 to get an app from, I like N-A-Day Developments, HP10B2. Axel, maybe you can put the little link in the thing, to NADaydevelopment.com. But this is like, you have to have one of these, guys. To be an adult, you have to have one of these. Doesn't matter if you're buying a note or not. Okay, so I'm just sticking it in here. 44.6. What's the face rate on the note? The face interest rate on the note?
8%. 8%.
And you said the term's 18, but is this interest only, or what is this?
I believe it's fully amortizing. It's a 21-month note period, but there's 18 payments remaining.
So there's no balloon payment.
I didn't do the math. I just got the thing literally last night, and I said, let me talk to Dawn because I followed you before, and I said,
okay,
she'll know what to do.
Okay. Thank you, MJ. I appreciate the vote of confidence. But can you see the numbers I'm getting? Are you in front of a computer?
I'm not. I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm sorry. So I'm poking something in your face that you're not seeing. So if I put it in here, a $44,000 note at 8%, fully amortized over 21 months, would make the monthly payment $2,283. Is that how much he's paying every month?
That is correct. That's what I have here. That's the numbers I have.
Really? I would have guessed that you were like fooling me on that one. Okay, so basically, So he's made 3 payments already. So the balance is $38,600?
That's correct.
Okay, so then, all right, now that I finally understand a teeny bit, now I'm ready, my brain can assimilate the next piece of the story. So what does this guy want, and what do you want to do?
I want to get, what does he want? I've reached out to him and said, what do you take for it? And I have yet to receive the return answer. But what do I want? I'm seeing as how it's non-owner occupied. He's a flipper. I've seen pictures online, but I have yet to get out to the house to see it. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking this is quite a bit riskier than what I'm used to doing, which gives me a little bit of pause. But I mean,
well, wait. You buy non-performing seconds.
Yep.
You are used to the most
when they have all that equity coverage and they've been in there for 15 years and there's a current first.
No, I get it, but it's super funny. I'm just, I hope you know I'm just sort of a dork and I like laughing and poking fun at stuff.
No, that's okay. I do too.
Yeah. So but someone's saying, "Oh, that sounds really risky," and you buy non-perform. Are the first at least performing on those, or are they in default as well?
Well, everything I buy has a performing first.
First. Okay, that makes huge difference. Okay, gotcha. So thanks for letting me just play with you there. But
that's okay.
Yeah. So the thing is. One thing about a really quickly amortizing note is that every payment creates substantial hard equity, right? Increases your protective equity because the borrower has so much more of his own skin in the game already, right? So really, if I look at that loan, the buyer for getting that financing is only paying $3,300 in total interest over the term of the loan. So the nice thing is about a loan with a short amortization is the safety. The issue for you buying it is if you pay par, he probably doesn't want to take a discount. He just wants someone to take him out. But so if you pay par for that, you got to know that how much. Even if let's just pick a number of like a yield that you want to make on this note with 18 payments left to go.
15%, just for a number.
Okay. Oops. I hate it when I do something weird. Okay, so I'm going to put in 15%. for anyone who's looking, this is how I put it in. Axel, does that actually show up on the screen when I do this?
Yes, it does. You can see it pretty well.
Okay, so this is how I've put it in. There's 18 payments left, 15% interest, and oops, I solved for present value. So that's the balance of the note, right? That 36.5 that we talked about, or thereabouts.
Current balance is 38.6.
Whoops. Oh, because I accidentally already put your 8% in there.
Right.
This is it. Sorry, guys. This is why you need one of these, because you play back and forth and you make a mistake and you just keep working the numbers. So anyway, so now I'm going to put in the 15%. And to make 15%, you'd pay 36.5. So how much of a discount is that? So you're going to make 15%, but the UPB is 38. What was it? Did anyone remember from
38.6.
6. Okay. That's you're paying him 95 cents on the dollar. So you can go, whoa, I'm making 15%. But at the end of the day, you're going to tie up. You're going to tie up $36,600 basically. So $2,000 discount is what it sort of sounds like. And you're going to, for the amount of interest, so for about $4,500. And that's not bad, right? But unless you're going, so do you get the point I'm trying to make? Is like the on these really quickly amortizing loans, the interest rate or the effective yield that your calculator shows you can be impressive. But if you look at what you get at the end of the day for tying up, you're tying up a big chunk of change and it's coming back to you in $2,200 increments. So, some people go, I don't like that because I'm tying up a big chunk of change and only at the end of the day making $4,000 on this thing. Versus if I just kept the whole thing in an interest only, then all of it's working for me all the time. It doesn't mean it's a bad deal to do. This isn't bad, but you just have to go, when I have something that's a super short amortization, even if my yield says 36%, but if it's tying up a big chunk of change, and I'm only getting back $3,000 to $4,000 to $5,000 over the term, it's just not even worth it. That's why even people go, why? It's a really super high ROI. Yeah, but at the end of the day, that doesn't equate to a lot of interest in my pocket. Does that make sense?
It makes total sense. That's one of the reasons I reached out. Is I'm hesitant to make him an offer without hearing his offer, of course, but to figure out what's an acceptable rate of return, or rather yield, I should say, to you for a note that looks like this, that's not occupied.
So number one, I would, from a loan to value or investment to value conversation, and if you can prove that history, right? Don't trust the history. You got to see counsel checks, bank statements, things like that.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Definitely.
So it's not that bad because this guy, he only put 10% down as a non-owner occupied, but he's paying the principal down pretty dang fast. So I can see that you would have to go, what's my, you have equity coverage. This is as good as any of your seconds, right? And hopefully with this rehabber that knows what he wants to do, but we know it's worth 49. What's your maximum loan to value? Just pick a number out of your head. What's your maximum?
70.
Okay. So
70.
49 times 7, 49 times 0.7. So basically, that comes out to like your max exposure on this thing is 34.3. So I always start with what's my maximum risk palette for this? And I just plug in that number. So if I do that, see there, for people who are looking at the computer, now I'm going to solve for interest. Then that turns out to be 23.71%. But it's not that huge of a discount. It's, what'd you say, 38.6 minus 34.3? What is that, $4,000 discount-ish to him? Now, he's sort of taking a loss, right? But this whole deal was a loss to him. It didn't work out the way he thought. But so you could be, if you gave him your maximum investment to value price based on the current as-is value of the collateral, I don't care about after repaired, like what's it worth, even if he doesn't finish the job, then over the next 18 months, you could feasibly make, this is where you can get the amortization schedule up here. Great app. I love this thing. Anyway, you could potentially make $6,800 in interest, and you could get your feet wet with a whole new thing. I think if you can get it for that, why the heck not? If you as an investor, you have like, I got a lot of money that I keep working. This only represents a small portion of my investing portfolio. I'd say, yeah, go for it. It'll show you a whole new thing to do. I think it's a reasonable risk if you keep it at whatever your loan to value as is value is. And what the heck, even if you don't end up liking it, the worst you can do, it seems like, is make $6,800 in the next 18 months for tying up $3,400. Is that any questions? I mean, did that make sense to everyone?
That was outstanding.
Okay. Any other comments while MJ's on the line? Who else wants to chat or say something to MJ?
You've been listening to Virtual Coffee with Dawn Rickabaugh. For more, please visit notequeen.com.